everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be super exciting because I have a new palette to be trying out today, and it's the So Jaded palette from ColourPop and Kathleen Lights. And it is super cute. This is what the inside looks like. Hold on, forgot to turn on my lights. Alright, so let's show you that palette again. So this is what the inside of that palette looks like. So yeah, we're going to do an eye look with this palette today, and that is super exciting. I have two of the ColourPop and Kathleen Lights eyeshadow palettes. I have the Zodiac palette and I have the Dream Street palette, but those are the little ones. For ColourPop, their typical palettes look like this size, and these are also from Kathleen Lights. So if you open them up, this is how many shades come in those palettes. And this is their first mega palette. So if you compare this palette to this palette, it's so much bigger. And this is the first palette that ColourPop has released that's that size. So that's super exciting. Plus that palette is with Kathleen Lights, and she is awesome here on YouTube. She just has the best personality, and she always comes up with the best things with ColourPop. Okay, so let's just get into this video. I want to start out doing our eyes today instead of the face. So I'm going to zoom you up here. Starting out, I have no idea what kind of look I'm going for today. I'm just kind of play around. I know I want to do like a fall look because it is now October. So I think I'm going to go in first with You're a Gem, and it's this color right here. For the next color I'm going to go in with is Carnelian, and it's this burnt shade right here. And what's really nice about doing your eyes first is you can be as messy as you want, and you don't have to worry about the fallout and all of that, because you're just going to clean it up as soon as you're done and you're getting ready to put your foundation on. Alright. This palette doesn't have a lot of fallout. I mean, that's not the reason why I'm going in with my eyes first. I was just wanting to change up my routine a little bit. So now we're going to go in with Jasper, and it's like a brownish purpley shade right here, and just pat that on. Color isn't final, but we're going to try this ametrine, is that how you pronounce it? Color. It's like purple and it has a little bit of shimmer in it. So we're going to try that. I'm not sure. It might be too dark for the lid. It might not match. I'm not really liking it. The color is really pretty, but I think with these warm tone colors, I'm not liking it. So we're just going to go with a shimmer. So I'm going to try Moonstone. It's the shade right above that. It's this one right here. I'm going to use my finger. I have used this shade before. And I really, really liked it. And I found that it worked a lot better with my finger, so I'm going to use my finger today to put that on. going to dive back in with that You're a Gem, the very first color that we used, this one right here. And I'm going to put that right in here to warm it up some. And then in the crease. To give it more of a matte type color. Alright, I think that's about it for the eyes. I know it looks super weird because it's just the eyes and it's all messy and there's no foundation or anything on, but I promise you it'll all come together. Alright, so let's get a makeup wipe. Okay, so let's dive into the face makeup and then we'll come back and finish up the eyes as far as the under eyes and all that stuff. For today's primer, I'm going in with my Smashbox primer because my skin's been feeling a little dry and I need to add some moisture back into my skin. Yes, I know, I've been raving about that e.l.f. primer, but I want more of a healthy, dewy skin look today. Save the turtles. Don't use plastic straws. Let's put these ears on and go in with our foundation. And I'm using the Maybelline Matte and Poreless. I really like this foundation for whenever I don't have a lot of issues with my skin as far as breakouts and texture and stuff like that. My skin has actually been pretty good, but I had ice cream yesterday and sour cream, so I'm sure you'll see a pimple popping up here soon. Okay, so for today's video, I'm using my new brush that I got. It's from IT Cosmetics. It's called the Love Your Foundation brush. I believe that's what it's called. It's like a limited edition. It only comes out, I think, like once a year. This year, it's a kabuki brush. This year, it's like flat on top, and usually it's like a little domed. So this is the first year that they've did this foundation brush, and of course, changed it. The year that I buy it, it's whenever they change it. So this is the IT Cosmetics Love Your Foundation brush, but it's the first one that is a flat kabuki instead of a regular. Let me see if I have my other one. So this is another kabuki brush for your foundation, and see how it's like really stiff but it's domed. This is what they usually looked like, but now this year it's flat. So anywho, moving on. We're going to use this brush for foundation today instead of a sponge. And that other brush that I showed you, that was a kabuki brush. That was a brush that I used to use for my foundation before I got this brush if I wasn't going to use my sponge. And that is from the brand Morphe. And it's the M439 brush. And that is an awesome, awesome brush for foundation. Some people don't like using a sponge. Some people prefer a sponge. I prefer a sponge, but sometimes I just want some fuller coverage and I'm just tired of going and dampening my sponge before I go to do my makeup, and so I'll just use a brush. But if you want more of a fuller coverage for your foundation, a brush is going to give you that more so than the sponge. And this foundation here is more It is not full coverage at all. Like I said, I like to use it whenever I don't have a lot of texture, pimples, problem areas on my skin, because it gives you more of a your skin but better look. It's not heavy looking. You can still see your freckles and things like that. I mean, you can build it up to be heavy and more full coverage, but I like this for work because I don't feel like my makeup's so caked on, because I sweat at work. I got a hard job. And I don't need to be wearing a lot of makeup while I'm at work. For concealer, it's the Superstay Better Skin. Time to go in and set our under eyes before they start creasing. And grab a little brush. And this foundation dries down to like a matte, so I don't worry about setting it with a powder. Only my under eyes because of the concealer, and then my smile lines and around my nose because I wear glasses. But I don't typically set this foundation. We're going to go in with bronzer. And I'm using my BH Cosmetics bronzer. Next I'm going in with my ColourPop pressed powdered bronzer, and I'm gonna warm up the face with it a little bit. Okay, so as you know, yeah, my Milani blush, what's new? I'm telling you guys, I haven't found a blush that beats this. And I never really liked blush until I met that product. Okay, so for highlighter, I'm going in with the Essence Nude, Pure Nude highlighter. And I think this is still in the stores. I've had this stuff forever. It's like one of my first highlights I ever bought. And it's really nice for the drugstore. Not even just for the drugstore, but just in general. It's just a nice sheer glow to your skin. There's no big glitters. It just really warms up the skin nicely. I'm going to go in with that dark shade Jasper and line our lower lash line. For liner today, I'm using a liquid liner, and it's the Hank and Henry liner. I've spent way too much time on that. Wings are sisters, not twins, so just keep that in mind. Alright, so I'm going to tight line with my Milani eyeliner. For mascara today, we are using the BF mascara from ColourPop. I'm using a lot of ColourPop products today. But ColourPop is just, it's amazing. If you haven't checked into their makeup, you really need to. It's so affordable and their products are so good. Like those eyeshadow palettes that I showed you, the mini, well not the mini, but the normal sized ColourPop ones, I think they're like, they range from $12 to $18. And the quality of those shadows are amazing. I almost forgot our brows. Can't forget them. I'm using my ABH Brow Definer in the shade Medium Brown. To lock them brows in place, I'm using my ABH Clear Brow Gel. Alright, and now we just need to set our face. Alright guys, so that's the final look using today's So Jaded palette from ColourPop. I'm really liking the eyes, and I'm really... Okay guys, so that's the final look for today's look using the So Jaded palette from ColourPop. This was just a nice simple fall look for today's video, and I'm definitely going to be using this palette more on my channel because I have so many ideas. There's so many colors that I haven't even swatched or even thought about using, and so there's so many looks that you can create using this palette, and the formula is wonderful. I'm really liking today's skin look. Our foundation is nice and dewy looking. It looks hydrated, fresh, and it's not cakey looking. There's, you know, you can still see my mole and my freckles and some little imperfections, but it's your skin but better. And I really, really like that look, and it just looks nice and hydrated and fresh looking and really nice. So yeah, with that being said, thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel, and as always, stay pretty, Sam Fam.